My name is Bernard Canna. I am the editor photographer of the website known as the Photo Pit. With me here to my right or left, depending on how you're looking at it, is my friend Danny Mazzeo. Hi, Danny. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So we're this is a first timer for us. Like, I've gone live on Facebook before plenty of times, like those from last year, who have seen me do stuff with the Photo Pit and do stuff from my own personal account. But Danny and I had this wackadoo idea to decide to do something a little more fun. And we're going to start, maybe doing a little bit more live streaming on stuff this year, to discuss specifically Blue Ridge Rock Festival 2022. So, for those of you who don't know, this is a festival. Danny, how many years has Blue Ridge been around for now? I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah, already being put on the spot. So I'm beginning to think more so this really is your idea, and I'm just along for the ride. I want to say 2017, but the main promoter, Jonathan Slive, hopefully a household name at this point, but Jonathan's been doing shows for over 10 years at this point. You know, he started with kind of a backyard bash with POD while he was in high school. And so, fast forward to Blue Ridge and the many iterations, and here we are in 2022, about ready to pull a Band-Aid off of what's going to be absolutely epic.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on this one. So for those who don't know or know, last year, I actually went to the Blue Ridge Rock Festival covering for media, for the Photo Pit. We had a grand old time, with music and friends, and it was an experience. Now, we had some hiccups. That is true. Those of you who know about it have already known about it. We're not going to be the dead horse. We're moving on. So I had a lot of discussions with a number of friends. One of my friends, Amanda, my friend Danny here, about me coming back, to Blue Ridge, and hopefully, cross fingers, we get approved to do so, we will come back to cover, once again, Blue Ridge Rock Festival for 2022. But as a part of that, we wanted to help kind of talk about things that are happening now, because things are happening now right away. If you don't know, let me promo a little plug here. Facebook group has a group out there that's known as the Blue Ridge Rock Festival Fan Zone that was created by Todd Stone a couple years back when the Blue Ridge festivals had started. That membership of that group now, I think, has hit over 35,000 people. It's massive and it's crazy, and it's a community, and I love the people that are in there. It's awesome. We have a great mixture of, fans to admins. Jonathan likes to pop in there every now and then, to also media that's in there, and also artists that are popped in there too. So some of the bands who performed at Blue Ridge last year are actually in the fan zone and happy to promote themselves, talk to fans, etc. So if you haven't joined the Blue Ridge Rock Festival fan zone yet, you should, because sometimes they do exclusive information in that group. But we're going to kind of spoil it a little bit tonight. Sorry about that. We apologize, Todd. And talk about an announcement that did get dropped today, specifically in the fan zone, because I think fans need to know, and they need to know now. So,
I'm going to interrupt you there, Bernard, because I think this is one of the things that really helps continue to set Blue Ridge apart, right? So this little bit of information that was dropped wasn't just dropped at some prime hour. I mean, this was dropped in the middle of the night, yes, by Jonathan himself. So, there's a lot to be said for that. Me, I was sound asleep. I woke up and was like, wow, this is it. Here we go. So, that same hype that I'm feeling now, I'm ready. So, but I think it was 3:00 in the morning that the dude posted this thing, which is just crazy.
Yeah. It is great. And the thing is, because that group is so active, that sometimes, if you're not kind of paying attention, you might miss something, real fast. So it's always good to kind of scroll through that pretty often. And as the weeks build on now, and as soon as we get closer to that event, you're going to watch that group is going to get insanely active and crazy with posts like all the time. So join the group. It's a lot of fun. I love the people that are there. I love to see the things that people are talking about, because we do talk about other stuff too, besides Blue Ridge. Talk about upcoming shows, upcoming concerts, upcoming news of stuff about musical artists, but primarily focuses Blue Ridge. And we'll probably keep to that focus, and Todd will probably start streaming stuff down as we get closer to the event, on making sure everything is more focused on Blue Ridge, for the fans of the community. So, but in any case, that being said, let's talk about what got announced today, over there in the Blue Ridge fan zone. It was the fact that tickets for Blue Ridge Rock Festival 2022 go on sale when, Danny?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Friday, that would be February the 18th, time 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. So if you are interested in picking up your tickets for the Blue Ridge Rock Festival Fan Zone, go over to their website, which I believe is blueridgerockfestival.com, and go look for your tickets. But there is a lot in there that we have to talk about. And I think because I'm streaming here on Facebook, I got pulled away from the page and lost exactly everything that I had before.
That's all right. That's why you brought me along. That's why you brought me along. I know my purpose here. We're good. So
why don't you give me a start on what they talk about? We'll work our way through point by point.
Yeah, I think that's definitely great. So the first thing that was brought up was the layaway and the payment plans. And to me, that's a huge thing right now. You know, that's always been a focus, right? It's how on earth am I going to afford a festival, considering every other band and every other festival is also making their announcements and starting to fire up. So payment plans are available, which is phenomenal news.
Yeah, and I agree. I like the fact that Blue Ridge is doing this. It's a really big help for people. Sometimes people just can't afford to, drop all the money at one time. So a layaway plan to be able to secure your spot at the Blue Ridge Rock Festival is thankful. So thank you, Jonathan and team, for putting that together. If I remember correctly, the details is that layaway was minimum 25% that has to get put down for that. And then further details on it, if you go to use the layaway plan, you go to purchase your tickets, keep an eye on that. But just remember, it's a 25% minimum that has to be put down on your tickets to secure that for the layaway plan. All right. What is number two?
Number two is the fun one that you've already alluded to. So we got tickets.
Yay, tickets.
Tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Now, for those that have been in the fan zone with us for a number of years, we like to give the Rockstar caveat of 12-ish. 12-ish is kind of important to hone in on, because it's technology. Yes. There's a lot of people that go into this. I know they've been working on some really big promotional videos to try to get this thing ready. And some of the contingency is being able to launch that, because we're all going to feel alive when we see this. I have not had a chance to see this clip. I have no idea what's going to be in it. What I do know is anything that they've put together from a look back is good. It's going to be a hype, man.
Oh yeah, it's going to be without a doubt.
Excitement is just crazy.
I'm actually curious to see that's what's over. I'm curious to see if I'm actually in any of the clips. That's what I'm curious about, because I'm sure that there's artists showing their performances and stuff, and more than likely, I remember there was camera crews that were in the pit with us. We were photographing artists during the Blue Ridge last year, so I'm kind of curious to see, did I get caught somewhere in there on screen? But that's just myself. Any case.
Well, unlike you, I'm probably just gonna be a face in the crowd somewhere, and hopefully, likely all these people that were masked, we're gonna be like, I think that was so and so, but that was during the plague. I don't know. So yeah, exactly. it'll be an interesting look back.
Yeah, that will. It definitely will. So hopefully they have that video ready to go for tomorrow when they go take a release. Did they talk about it all about? I don't want to. Here's not the right word. Types of tickets anywhere in the announcement? I didn't think they did.
I don't know if they mentioned the tiers.
I don't think they did, but they don't think they mentioned types, right? I mean, we can make some assumptions with tickets, right? So we know where. Well, God, my brain is everywhere today. What are the dates? If I remember correctly, we're going to go at September 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th of 2022. If I got that correct.
8th through the 11th.
Right. So 8th through the 11th. So I'm going to make some assumptions when tickets go on sale. There will probably be 4-day packages, because that would only make sense. I'm going to guess that there's probably single days too, because that's just normal. Usually for festivals. I'm going
to interrupt. So we're going to jump ahead on this awesome list that I'm cheating off of. Okay. So point number 6, mind you, we're still on number 2. Point number 6 is that of the tickets that are going on sale, the exception of glamping, which is the glorified camping experience, which I actually heard was really fantastic. And then single day passes. Single day passes will not be going on sale tomorrow, but I would imagine this will be a fast follow.
All right. So we're talking about 4 days only. Camping itself will probably be a part of that, I'm going to guess. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Right. Single days, not yet. So not yet. And then also it did get mentioned there, so I want to call it out. Remember, this is a blind buy. like as of right now, there are no artist announcements whatsoever for Blue Ridge Rock Festival for 2022. So when people were picking up their tickets, you don't know who the lineup is yet. Todd teased maybe we might get one tomorrow, maybe. So we'll see if that's the case. But just keep in mind, that it's a blind buy. Lineup has not been announced yet, and as soon as announcements start coming out, they will. And for those who are not part of last year's, fun fest and the fun stuff that went on, and you don't know what happens and how they did it last year, artist announcements were piecemeal, like literally like every so many days, sometimes even multiple times in a day, we were getting an artist announcement. So I'm going to take a guess. We probably had like 50 artist announcements last year before they dropped the full lineup. It might have been more. No, it probably was more.
It was probably more.
Like 100, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, normally what happens is that the, Blue Ridge Rock Festival starts dropping piecemeal one by one, as artists over the times. And then eventually they just say, okay, now we're going to drop the rest of the lineup in one big poster. Bam, there it is. So my assumption is the same thing is probably going to happen this year, because I wouldn't see it changing. I'd be shocked if it did. So
I'd be shocked if it's changing too. That's kind of been some of their identity, not just last year, but over the years as a whole. Is boom, here we go. Here's one of them, and it's kind of like looking at a March Madness where they're actually plugging them in, so you can kind of see who is going to be showing up out of all of these question mark boxes. Here you go. It's like, all right, okay, well, if that band is right here, they're going bigger. I mean, that was the hype behind that it's just crazy. It is
crazy, and Todd always likes to give us little hints. He calls them lame hints, but they're not lame, Todd. We love you for these. Todd always drops a lot of hints on stuff that's going on, who it could be, usually by gifts. And that's always a lot of fun to guess, where they are. So, we'll see what comes out of that for this one. Because actually, if you go to the fan zone right now, there's one already Todd had dropped early. So just go look for that. You'll see it. Anyway, so, all right, let's move it on. What do we got next?
All right, number 3, we got the 4-day GA price.
Yes, this is an important one to talk about. Why don't you read us out what we have here, and then we'll discuss, please.
All right, so these start at $180. That's the 4-day GA price. And to Blue Ridge's credit, they straight up acknowledge this is the highest our pricing has ever been. But we feel strongly we are still playing true to the fan-driven mentality of low pricing. And it goes on to explain some of those reasons, which I think is huge.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it is. I mean, honestly, if you look at other festivals that are out there today, Blue Ridge is far from the pricing on some of the other ones that are out there. And I'm even talking about, if you go international too and count those in there. But Blue Ridge's prices for the festival that they throw and the artists that they have is very reasonable. One of the things I remember in this part of that list, that there was discussion around originally last year's Golden Circle, and that for this year was a decision not to have that and get it removed because that's what the fans wanted. And the fans said, yep, we didn't like that idea. We are not a fan of it. Can we please get rid of it? They said if we did, there would probably be a price increase that would come along with that. So there we go. That's why we're up at a little higher than before. But I will say that is probably a very reasonable price for the amount of bands that is expected to be at Blue Ridge this year. And we'll talk about that a little bit down the road here. So yeah, I'm not shocked by the price increase. And I think it's actually fairly reasonable. I think Jonathan and the team did a great job, at least keeping it, under control in a sense. So that wasn't a, massive explosion. I mean, because let's be honest, group fans, friends, if in our world today, has anyone seen prices of everything recently? Right? I mean, things have exploded all over the place, no matter, right? It's painful, no matter what the product is that we're talking about. It's just that, unfortunately, we've just seen a change in our environment, and pricing and around things has gone with that. So with that being said, considering that this is holding at 180, I think is very reasonable and great. And kudos to them for, keeping it at a good price, for fans to still be able to enjoy a great experience that's coming in September. You got anything else to add, Danny, with that? Or
I don't. I mean, I'm just trying to wrap my head around. I mean, $180. You think about it. I mean, most of these big names that are out touring, I mean, you could spend that alone for one ticket for what, 3 bands? So
Yes.
now you're thinking $180 GA 4 days. I mean,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, right. I mean, that's the way I kind of look at it too. And it's hard to kind of wrap your head around that. You don't think about it, but yeah, I mean, consider yourself at the recent, like, fans who are watching and listening, right? Think about the last 3 concerts you went to and add up that ticket pricing and how much that was. I wouldn't be shocked if it's close to that 180 price. And that's just a guess. I mean, even if, recently today, if a band is like, let's say for 3 bands, it's like $45, right? If you go that like 3 times, you're already talking about 120, 130-ish. So now that's like maybe 9 bands you've seen, right? For 3 separate events, and you're going to get for 180, 150 bands, at least as many as you can see, hopefully, for that, in over 4 days. So yeah. I think it's pretty much covered. Just use some logical thinking around this, and you could see it. This is definitely worth your value. All right, what do we got next?
Let's not get down the path of logic right here. All right, let's take something completely illogical. So number 4, we've got the Rockstar package.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. I saw this and I dropped. I was like, this is going to be solid. This is just going to be cool.
And give us the lowdown on this one, because I have my things I wanted to talk about with this too.
Yeah. So again, you see some of the polls that have happened, and what is it that everybody's kind of itching for? And seeing the feedback, it was meet and greets. COVID, obviously kind of has done what it's done. Nobody's meeting, nobody's greeting, except for your 30,000 closest friends together and, singing along. So insert the Rockstar package. And I'm reading this verbatim because I'm just not very good at summarizing, especially when I'm put on the spot by you. So select number of individuals. So you already know this is going to be a limited package, right? Be able to have meet and greets on top of VIP acoustic set access. So that's another part of the experience that we're going to want to cover. An elevated side stage viewing platform, which in and of itself, I don't have to worry about tall guys getting in front of me. I'll be all right. Huge. And much, much more. It's expensive, no price listed, but due to the very high cost associated with delivering a select number of individuals, the experiences this package offers. This is huge.
Because I kind of wasn't sure about that. Is that Rockstar package essentially VIP? Is that what we're assuming here?
So I want to say it's VIP and then some. It sounds like it's VIP and then some, but I honestly, I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna have to ask about that one and see if we can get some more details on it. Or tomorrow, if you're looking at tickets, maybe you could tell us. So I wasn't sure either.
We would love to know.
Yes, we would. We absolutely would.
Right. Rockstar package sounds awesome. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. So last year when they had acoustics, there were a couple of acoustic sets that occurred, and if I remember correctly, they were all in the VIP tent only. Right, that was the only place where they had them. So this was another event that you could attend to see your favorite band, depending on who they were, appear and do an acoustic performance. And they didn't tell anyone who they were going to be, so they were all mystery bands at the time. But it's still, any band that's willing to unplug and play their stuff, for that.
Right. You talk about an intimate experience. Yeah, my God.
It's an experience. It's absolutely an experience. I think the only one I recall from last year, because I was so busy with other stuff, I think Pop Evil was the one I remembered that they did an acoustic, and their set list was awesome.
I think I heard Wage War did one as well. I'm fairly certain Wage War did one as well, but it was a long time ago. A long time ago. Lots happened.
Yeah, 30 months ago. So so I like this idea of the package, and it's just hard right now with, unfortunately, the pandemic, and it's impacted us still to this day. As bands are still, unfortunately, rescheduling and with things that are going on. So who knows with September, things could change. We don't know. Things could be in the better. So we'll see. But this is at least, Jonathan's making an effort with the Blue Ridge team to kind of give something, for the fans that will be close to what they want. So keep your eye out for that on ticket sales tomorrow. If they're in there. All right. It's next on the list.
All right. So this was a big one. And the hotel packages.
Yes. Yeah. So, there are none, right?
That's right. That's right. And I know that's a huge shift.
It is, and I think we need some explanation. Well, we don't need an explanation. I think, if you're watching this, the reason why this happened is, unfortunately, last year there were hotels that had doubled and tripled book, and kind of, how would I say this politically correctly? I can't, put the screws to Blue Ridge, and the fans who had booked through Blue Ridge to basically, take their money away and not offer them a room. So Jonathan and the Blue Ridge team worked really hard. I mean, really hard to make sure that everyone got squared away with a hotel, who had bought a hotel package, but they had just realized that, unfortunately, was not worth the effort, to go through that for the money that they lost. And I don't blame them for that at all. But it is definitely a very odd, take on things for a festival, because that's what we're used to. I mean, and I think that's what it is. We're just so used to seeing hotel packages, every time you go to a fest and you look at the lineup and it's like, okay, what hotels are available? What can I buy with my tickets to get a hotel? But yeah, Blue
I
Ridge
think you're
is opting
spot
not
on
to.
with that.
Yeah.
I really think you're spot on with that. I mean, we have been conditioned. We've been spoiled rotten. It's been good, but yeah, this was definitely a change.
Yep. And I don't think it's a bad change. It's different. That's all. That's all you have to look at it. So those of you who are, when you get your tickets tomorrow, start looking for your hotels as soon as you get your tickets. So, because, that's what you just got to do. So in any case, all right, what's up next?
So number 7, because remember, we already hit number 6.
Yes.
Glamping, single day, not happening tomorrow.
Yep.
Will be happening, just not tomorrow. Number 7, camping is a bit higher. Why? Again, goes right into, let's be transparent. Here's what's going on. We've already talked about that. But here was the interesting that jumped out at me. And I love the fact that Jonathan in his posts has taught me that you can actually get bold font in your posts in a group. I had no idea. So anyway, if you're camping, a free sizable national pre-party concert exclusive for campers only on Wednesday, September 7th. So we've already said this thing's going from the 8th through the 11th. Now you add a pre-party on Wednesday night.
Yep.
Like, this is huge, man.
I like that. Like,
that's a nice add-on.
It is a nice add-on. And for those, if you were paying attention to the fan zone, like after Blue Ridge happened, there was talk on, originally what was supposed to happen is that this was going to be a 3-day fest, right? With a pre-party on the Thursday. So it was just going to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday pre-party on Thursday. But, with the amount of bands that Jonathan said they signed, they just couldn't pull that off anymore. So it had to be a 4-day. But yeah, I love the fact he's going to bring, I love a pre-party day. I'm all for those. Absolutely all for those, and not, I don't think it's cool because if I get to come, I'm hoteling. But for the campers, for those who are, good for you, you're going to get something a little bit extra than other people won't.
I'll let you know how it is.
I hate you. No, I don't.
Great. We're on record with that, Bernard.
Yeah, right. We're on record. That's true. Oh, I forgot. We're live, right? So also, also just to keep in mind too, which I really love about this idea, is that most people show up on when if you're camping. I mean, even if you're traveling, like I will, if I get to come to Blue Ridge as media again, I'm going to leave on Wednesday and I'll make my way up Wednesday because I don't want to travel on the day of when it starts. That's ridiculous. So everyone's going to be there anyway on the day before to, get in. And so I think it's cool that they're going to do a party and, have a band or 2 or 3 or 12, who knows, to be able to perform for the campers that are going to be there and all settled in. So it'll be a lot of fun for them, give them a chance to relax and get geared up for the, true festival start on Thursday. So yeah, fantastic idea. Love it.
Completely agree, man. So switching it up from camping, you got RV hookups. So bigger RV with hookup layout than before. So that's definitely huge with real RV campgrounds. Obviously a nod to, some of the known hiccups from last year. So, so again, we're hearing the feedback and we're making the difference. Kudos to the team.
Yeah.
It's
just
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. I think it's great that they're making the effort to make sure that everyone's kind of squared away for what's camping, especially those who have brought RVs. We know hookups are always an issue. Come on, even if if you rent an RV and you go somewhere else and you realize you don't have the right plug, that's an issue. I mean, that could just happen at any time. But when you don't have enough, that's a whole different story. So, the Blue Ridge team heard you. They understood what's going on, so they're making amends to try to make sure we get it. Not only to get it right, that it's no issues, for this year when it comes to camping. So that's a good thing. So I'd be actually curious to know how many people are renting RVs to come down. Maybe I'll throw a poll up or something at some point. If I can throw a poll up on my Facebook page,
Yeah,
'cause I'm actually
it'd be
super
cool. It'd be
curious.
cool to get a pulse for who's hotelling, who's glamping, who's camping, who's doing what.
Yeah.
Then
Todd,
figure
if you're
out how to
watching,
bounce between the parties.
Todd, if you're watching, can we get a poll for that? I think that'd be interesting to see. I'd like to know how many people are camping or RVing over hoteling for this year. That'd be a fun one. Right.
That'll be our assignment to figure out how to actually make that poll happen. Maybe we'll just have Todd do it for us. He seems to be good with
I'll
those.
just keep poking him. That's all. Todd, please do this, please.
So I think my dog's about ready to say hello. So for those that are
doggy. Fun stuff. What happens when we go live?
You're officially
right?
Facebook.
Never know.
Facebook Live. You're huge. Great job. So the club experience, unlike last year, club experience passes will go on sale during the on sale, and they have revamped the club completely. It will be on site, which is exciting. I know that was some of the, there was some pain points to that last year, but I will say, having done the club experience last time, I went and saw T-Pain, and it was a blast. I mean, it was truly a unique experience on top of an already unique experience. So I love that they're bringing the club experience back.
Yeah, and the club experience is specifically for artists that are not normally at a rock festival. So this is primarily hip hop and rap that they'll bring in. We didn't even know who those were either until very late in the game when the team decided to release that announcement last year. I really wanted to go to the club, but when I heard how far it was off site, I was just like, I can't. It's like that's crazy for me.
Far off site, a lot of walking. I mean, the fact that they're pulling this off on site, I'm just again,
that's a big plus.
I'm thrilled at the kind of the potential that's hiding behind that.
Oh no, I think it's going to be huge. I mean, and was those tickets for just so everyone remember, that's a separate ticket, if I remember correctly, to go and attend the club. So
it was last year. I'm assuming it is this year.
This year, yeah. And I don't remember if that's going on sale tomorrow or not. So keep that in mind. Keep your eye out for it. If it's something you're interested in, buy them. Because let me tell you this, they went fast. And when I say they went fast, I mean like flash fast, like blink of an eye fast. They were just gone. But the moment when that announcement came and everyone said tickets are live, I think it was under 5 minutes and they were sold out. It was nuts, absolutely nuts. So yeah, definitely. If you're buying tickets tomorrow and they're in there and you want to go, buy them. They
look like they will be. If I'm reading this correctly, and I've been known to be wrong once or twice, but if I'm reading this correctly, they're going to be on sale tomorrow.
I'm telling people, if you don't believe me, you will see for yourself. They will be gone faster than you know, even without announcements being made on who's playing yet. They'll just be gone. They'll be gone. All right. What else? So,
the last point that we've got, and you started talking about this earlier. Why buy before the lineup?
Why not? That's the answer to that.
There we go. That's it right there.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it this way. If you bought tickets last year, and even with the hiccups and things that have happened last year, I don't know anyone, I think the majority of people said, yeah, even though we had hiccups, this was a fun time. So if you had fun last year, why would you come back this year? Unless obviously you have something that you just literally can't attend. I got a work function, a wedding, whatever. I get that. But I'm thinking if you came last year, you're coming back this year. And buy now. Why not? That's the answer there.
That's exactly it. I mean, you figure, and I think you were going to be touching on this here in a few minutes, but you think about the number of bands that are going to be here, right? If you're into rock, if you are into rock for $180 over the course of 4 days, why would you not? What are the odds of you not liking a band on any day?
I'd be shocked by that. Yeah, I would be shocked, completely shocked by that. And I think, since you mentioned it, let me share something here real quick. We can kind of touch upon this. So, for those who knew or not knew, there was a call that Jonathan held with a number of select people. I think Danny was on that call, weren't you not?
I
You
was.
were,
I had a small hand in that call.
maybe a small hand in it, right?
Small
But there
hand.
was a lot of things that were previewed for those who were on that call. And then they decided at some point they were going to release some of the information that was on. I know there was more than this, but I just want to at least touch upon this piece because they did put this on there. I think this was from Facebook, from their Facebook story. So, as a part of Blue Ridge in 2022, this is what we were told so far. There are going to be 12 band reunions at Blue Ridge alone. Let me repeat that one more time. 12 band reunions at Blue Ridge Rock Festival 2022. And I already have in my head some bands that I think are going to be as a part of that. And I could almost guarantee at least one off the top of my head. And that's just from things I pay attention to out on ticket sales and stuff like that with bands. So, but that's 12. Like, holy crud. It's like, can you name off Dana, could you name off the top of your head 12 bands that, you might think are coming back to perform a show?
We're doing holograms this year. I don't think so.
No. Josie and the Pussycats, maybe? I will say this. If you weren't part of Blue Ridge last year, you missed one band reunion. Well, I don't want to say it was really a band reunion because they were kind of active, but it was still in a sense, they're not like regularly touring. And that was the Ghost Inside. And I had never seen them live. And holy hell, that was an awesome set. I had my mind blown by that one. That was great. That was absolutely great. That was just
it was pulled out of thin air too. It was like completely out of left field.
Yeah, was not unexpected. I was like, who Ghost Inside? Like, what? I'm like, where did that come from? But then correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the other one Drugs? Right? Yeah. So we had at least two, right? So Drugs was another one last year. And now they're actually touring this year, which blew my mind too. I was like, whoa. It's like, okay, like they played Blue Ridge and all of a sudden they were touring this year. Like, that's pretty awesome. But yeah,
relationships.
So, yeah, but 12 was like, wow, like that's
a big
huge.
Deal.
That is a big deal. If that doesn't tease you alone to make me go, I want to come, I don't know what's going to. Let's see what else here. But seven special performances. I'm not quite sure what that's about. I can speculate.
So my guess. So I'm thinking of the banner last year, right? You had, what was it? Was it POD was doing Satellite in its entirety?
Yes. Okay.
I think. Again, I've only been wrong once or twice. This is probably the second time in this call alone. So I think that's what we're getting at, is some type of special performance like that.
Yeah, like Papa Roach last year did Infest from beginning to end.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. So there we go. So keep that in mind. You're going to see 7 artists that have some type of special performance ongoing. I'm going to guess probably the same scenario where it's like they're going to be playing albums cover to cover, or an album from cover to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are cool. I always enjoy when a band does that. That's a lot of fun, to kind of hear that whole track live. Seven Dust right now is on tour. I think they're doing Animosity. Yeah, from beginning to end. And that makes me like super jealous. So,
they're doing 2 nights here in Charlotte. So I'm pretty stoked about that. It's favorite band, awesome live energy, and to be able to see them perform that album.
Yeah.
It truly is a special performance. So I'm hoping that
you know what I'm thinking, right? It's like I would blow my mind if they were coming to Blue Ridge for that alone to perform that. I'd be happy, right? That'd be cool. All right. Let's see here. 2 debuts. So I'm assuming this is 2 newer bands that are going to be performing at Blue Ridge or who have not performed before.
Potentially.
1 Farewell. Yeah, that one.
There's a lot of bands out there that are doing their farewell tours. At least a round of their farewell tours. Yeah. Because somehow farewell is never farewell.
Right. Yes, farewell is never farewell. So, yeah. So that one kind of makes me a little sad to hear that, but cool at the same time. So I guess we'll see. All right. But we did touch upon this before, right? With the Rockstar package, there's 12 acoustic sets for VIPs. There's that. No golden circles. Less conflicting overlaps. Oh, that one was like the biggest pain point. And that I'll admit, as media, that was my biggest pain point because I had so many bands I specifically wanted to shoot, and the overlap was killer. And there is just no way without like literally jogging 5 miles, I felt like that I could get to every set in time. Especially the fact that we're only limited to the first 3 songs. So, if you had to know that timing, it's like you had to get to that other person's set before it started, from depending on where you were. So yeah, I missed Wage War because of that. That one made me sad. I gave up. People are going to think I'm nuts for this one. I gave up Megadeth. I had shot them before, so I wasn't too worried about it. But I gave up Megadeth to shoot Bad Flower because they overlapped last year. So yeah, less.
I feel like Amanda would be okay with that. So yes, Amanda, here's your shout.
Perfectly fine with that. Yeah, perfectly fine with that. So, but then the last piece here, most of your 2021 favorites are coming back. So if you were, voting on the polls already that had started early, and you know of bands that you lived and loved, as they were there at Blue Ridge 2021, according to here, it says most of are coming back.
Which is awesome. Because I know I missed way too many to catch other sets.
Yeah. I'll be a little honest. I'm kind of a little torn on this from a festival perspective, only because I personally like to see a mix up. I'm not a fan of recycled, when festivals just constantly bring back the same people over and over and over again. But I prefer to see a little bit of more of a mix. Now, not to say that this isn't going to be still a mix. I'm sure when I see the lineup, I'm going to be more than happy when it hits it. Because what's going to happen is I say this now, but when I see that lineup and see everyone who's coming back, I'll be thrilled about it.
Absolutely.
I'll contradict myself.
It's easy to be pretentious behind a screen, Bernard.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, I think that's great, but this is what the fans are asking for. So the fans are asking for bands who played before to come back again. This is what they're going to give you because this is remember what, as they always said, the fan-driven experience, right? Isn't that the quote? Blue Ridge Rock Festival is based on all the polls that the fans themselves have voted on, and they were doing it via the Instagram stories, via the Facebook stories, to give your vote on who would you rather see between this band and this band. And sometimes you'll have that opportunity to just kind of see them both. So, we'll because I've seen that happen where on the poll it's like vote this or that, and then both of them are there anyway. So hopefully we get a lot of those.
It's nice. It's nice seeing the amount of energy and ownership of the fans, though, right? It's like, how dare you vote against my band, dude?
Oh, I love
what is wrong with you?
Those are it's fantastic. Those are the best ones. I think those are the best ones. Like, how could you vote this over that? Like, those are always fun.
How dare you have an opinion? Not allowed, Bernard. Not allowed.
Not allowed. Not allowed. So anyway, but for for those who are looking forward, this is what you're looking forward to for tickets that go on sale for tomorrow, right? So that's a big thing. I got one more thing I want to share real quick because I saw this picture and fell in love with this right away. Oh, where are you? That guy. I love this. I love this. Yeah. So
this looks really good.
Yeah, that came right up. So those who don't know, that picture came right off of the page in the Blue Ridge Rock Festival fan zone that was having all the pieces that Danny was just going over. That list of stuff, that was the image that they provided right there with it, and I absolutely love this. The Bears been the logo.
That is quality.
Yeah, that's quality. I love this. That's a T-shirt right there. Intent, nudge, nudge. Just saying.
And a beanie for those that need to wear them and keep their bald heads nice and warm.
Yeah. Well, I may have a few. Maybe. I do. I love beanies. Actually do. It's not cold enough in Florida half the time for me to actually wear them. But yeah.
And the jealousy sets in.
When the jealousy sets in. Sorry. Yeah. So, but in any case, yeah, that covers it. So I mean, overall, just as a reminder for people, right? So tomorrow at what we're talking about, Friday, February the 18th, 12 Eastern time, that let's say 12-ish, as you said, 12-ish, right? But go at noon Eastern. That's always a solid bet. But if it's not there, don't freak out. Don't flip. Don't worry. It'll get there. But that's the intent, for the tickets to start going on sale. So glamping will not be there. Single day tickets will not be there, but Rockstar packages, 4-day tickets will be available for purchase.
Concert
The club
experience seems like it's going to be there. Yep, the club
seems like
experience
it's going
should
to
be
be there,
there. So.
right? So keep an eye out for that, because I'm telling you, if you're interested in club, buy now. They will be gone before you blink.
Don't need to know who will be there. It will be gone, and
Yeah,
you will
right. It'll be gone.
You'll get to hear about it.
Yeah, you'll get to hear about it. So that was a big thing I at least wanted to talk about tonight, was making sure that people were aware. Tickets, and more tickets. So, and then beyond that, but like I said before, the Blue Ridge Rock Festival fan zone, go join it if you're not a part of this yet, because trust me, you'll enjoy it. You'll keep track of stuff. You'll get announcements there usually half the time before other people will see it. The Blue Ridge staff is pretty good about when they post it to their Facebook page to share it over in the fan zone as well. So if you didn't see it there, you might catch it in the fan zone faster, because Facebook is great for notifications accurately. Most times,
can't tell if there was sarcasm behind that one there.
That's full sarcasm, trust me. Even I have problems getting my own notifications notified from the photo page that that I got a new message or I got a new something going on. So in any case, I'm
gonna give one more shout out on the fan zone. I know we've been raving about this thing. So we've referenced it as a fan zone. We've referenced it as a Facebook group. We've referenced it as a community, and all that's accurate. But a huge props to Todd and the other admins that are in there, because it's more than that. I mean, you really do feel like you've become part of the Blue Ridge family by being there. And
yeah,
I mean, you start seeing comments from the same several people, and you start forming these bonds, and next thing you know, September's here, and you get to meet these awesome Facebook friends that you basically feel like you already know. So the family is formed, and it's incredible.
Yeah, and I'll share a little bit of my story. When I came up to Blue Ridge, I drove from Florida up to Virginia. That was a hike, but it was a fun hike, and I didn't mind as much. But on my way up at rest stops, I ran into people who were going to Blue Ridge, and I think number one was awesome. Just you run into the people that you've been talking to in the community, like right there on the road. Awesome. But when I actually got to Blue Ridge, the opportunity to meet you, the opportunity to meet Amanda, just face to face finally, for people who I was speaking to on a regular basis, for months before that actually happened. And to me, that alone is worth the experience. It's the friendships you make, the metal family, rock family that you bond with, and all of us have said it before, if you've gone to a festival, you meet people that you just end up sticking with. Even the media does that too. I've met photographers there at Blue Ridge who I hadn't met before. We've become very close friends now from that. So it's, and then the funny part is, like, half the photographers I know from here, came up to Blue Ridge too, so we had almost like our tight little knit family of photographers as well. That was there. Yeah. So, I mean, it was an experience for that alone, and that was so worth it. So it'll be a fun time. I'm looking forward to, hopefully this year, cross fingers on that one. So that being said, all right. I think that's all I had for tonight. Danny, do you have anything else that you want to add in?
Oh, this was fun. I think we should try to plug in. I think as these announcements come, I think we should do this again. Hopefully others will agree, and if not, I think we should still do it and have some fun.
Yeah. So for the intent, I think, like, Danny and I kind of like pitched around some ideas, and I think that what we'd like to do is actually do I guess like maybe a recap of like the artist announcements as they come out, depending on how many come out in the week. If something really big and special happens, maybe we'll do one that same day of. The day that the lineup drops, we're doing one no matter what. So that, because we'll talk for hours about the lineup of our favorite hits and whatnot. So that's so hopefully you'll see us back again, here to do some more live streaming and some talking. And what we'll probably do is either we're going to do it on Facebook, we'll do it on YouTube, we'll figure it out. This is our first go, and we'll just see where it goes, and we'll have fun doing it along the way. So, so Danny, thank you for tonight. I greatly appreciate your time. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for those who are watching. Yeah, no, my pleasure too. And thanks for those who are watching. We appreciate your support, and we will talk to you again shortly and soon. So thanks everyone. You have a good night.